Alright, last but not least in Year 7 fractions, let's have a look at dividing fractions. This is much like multiplying, so make sure you know how to change your mixed numbers to improper fractions. And we're going to use this method. Some people call it stay, change, flip. What you're going to do is leave your first fraction, or the fraction on the left, as it is, so that stays the same. We change our division sign to multiplication, and we flip our second fraction, as you can see here. So 3 over 4 divided by 6 over 12 becomes 3 over 4 times 12 over 6. And we can cancel, so 3 goes into 3 once, and into 6. I don't know why that keeps happening. Twice. And 4 goes into 4 once, and into 12 3 times. And then we can do our multiplication with our numerators. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 2 is 2. We're still going to use our bow tie cancelling as well, as we just did. But again, we can simplify or multiply any numerator with any denominator, as we've done in the past there. So let's go about this. So we're going to stay the same here. So 2/3 stays as 2/3. Change our division sign to multiplication and flip this to 9 over 8. We can then simplify. 3 goes into 3 once, and into 9 3 times. 2 goes into 2 once, and into 8 4 times. And we can then do 1 times 3, which is 3, and 1 times 4, which is 4. Nice and easy one there. Same thing, I'm going to go a bit faster now. So if you're getting stuck on the multiplication, you might want to go back to the previous lessons. But let's churn these out. So staying the same, 1 over 24. Division sign changes to multiplication, and we're flipping this fraction here, the second fraction, to 18 over 13. 6 goes into 18 3 times, and into 24 4 times. Doing our multiplying of numerators, 1 times 3 is 3, and 4 times 13, bit of a tricky one, 26 is 52. That's a pretty hard one, but that's the best we can do. And that's all we can do for that one. So staying the same, 3 over 5. Changing our division sign to multiplication, and flipping 2 over 11 to become 11 over 2. And I don't think there's anything we can cancel there. So 3 times 11 is 33. 5 times 2 is 10. Same principle as before, we need to change these to improper fractions. I'm going to skip a couple of steps here. So I'm going to do 3 times 5, number out the front times the denominator, which is 15, plus 1, which is our numerator, so that is 16 over 5. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11 over 4. And this is staying the same. Pen's going a bit wonky in this video. Sorry, a bit messy. Changing our division sign to multiplication, and flipping 11 over 4 to 4 over 11. And there is, well, this is a tricky one. It's going to be a bit of a weird one. 16 times 4 is 64, and 5 times 11 is 55. It's a pretty tough one when we can't cancel. If we ever end up with something like this, 8 over 9 divided by 2, I always write it as 2 over 1. That's the same thing. 1 goes into 2 2 times, so we've not changed anything. But now we can do our stay, change, and then flip. And just to make this easier, 2 goes into 2 once, and into 8 4 times. 4 times 1 is 4, and 9 times 1 is 9, and that's the best we can do for that one. Same thing here. If I've got 6, I want to write it as 6 over 1, and that's going to stay the same. We're changing division to multiplication, and flipping 1 over 2 to become 2 over 1. And nothing we can cancel there, so 6 times 2 is 12 over 1. and whenever we're dividing by 1, we just use the numerator, in this case 12. It's a bit of a weird one. When we divide by a half, the number actually gets larger, but the way to think about that is how many halves go into 6, and 12 halves would go into 6. So by dividing by a fraction, we actually end up with a larger number, which can be a little bit weird. So again, if you got a bit lost there, go back to the multiplication video, but use that stay, change, flip rule, and then just cancel like we did, and multiply, and Bob's your uncle. Doing very well. Hope these have helped. Good luck.